probably his best point in the whole video, I think, which is I completely agree with him here on this, that Undecember is actually probably the best of the ones that we're going to be talking about today. So this is a video from Echo Gaming Diablo called You Should Quit Diablo Immortal. Now this video keeps showing up on my recommended, and if you actually look at Echo Gaming, he is a very long time content creator for Diablo Immortal. In fact, he's been making videos before I have, as a matter of fact, on Diablo Immortal as well. So I'm kind of curious on what's going on with Echo Gaming. Now, I reached out to him because he's a friend and asked, is it okay if I react to his video? And he said yes. So I wanted to take a look at it and see what he's got going on today. Let's watch.
Echo, you should quit Diablo Immortal and play another action RPG. This is a comment that I get all the time inside of Diablo Immortal. People aren't fans of the game because of pay-to-win elements, because they just don't like the game.
This is new. He's got a blue tape over the logo here. You know what? I love that, baby. Get paid to promote. Let's go. You can't give it to him for free.
They're burnt out on the game, or they just want to play something different. Today I'm going to explore this and talk about why I'm still playing Diablo Immortal and what my options would be that I would actually consider if I were to put down this action RPG and pick up another one. Now,
so he's going to go into competitors is what it sounds like. I'm assuming we're going to talk about Torchlight Infinite, we're going to talk about Undecember, because those would be the two competitors, I believe, in this genre currently would pull people away from the game.
I do like a Diablo Immortal. I'm behind Server Paragon. If we take a look right here and see the Paragon level, I'm at 308, Paragon level is 334. Honestly, it's a day or two of pretty serious grind and I would be back up to Paragon level. Not something I'm concerned with at all. I've been playing casual as of late, but I do want to see what other options there are. Plus, when you think about it, what's coming? What games are actually coming?
So that's an interesting question. What games are actually coming? In this genre, I don't actually think there's too many games that are like still coming out, right? I think we have Undecember and Torchlight. They're fairly recent releases or early access or whatever you really want to call them. You know how games are these days. So I feel like the ARPG has got this year more games in the mobile game category than I've seen as of late.
To mobile specifically, so D4 is kind of out of the picture here. I mean, we know D4 is going to be an incredible game.
True. Okay, so I can't talk about the beta or anything. All I'm going to say, and all I can really say, is that I am looking forward to Diablo 4. I bet it's going to be pretty good.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah. But it has no mobile client. So for someone like me that really likes to focus on mobile games, it's kind of out of the picture, right? So I have Diablo Immortal, but let's do this. Let's get out of the game. As you can see, I do have Undecember installed on my iPad as well. But let's
you know what's interesting about Undecember is I actually didn't know this was a mobile game. Like, I downloaded it on Steam and was enjoying it on Steam, and while I was streaming it on Twitch from the Steam client, someone was like, oh, you like this mobile game too? I'm like, this is a mobile game? Like, I didn't even know. I thought it was a full PC game.
Head on into the App Store, see what kind of options we have. We're going to say not now. Let's actually just search up Diablo Immortal and see what other options they have.
Wait. Did he just say Diablo Immortal? I do this too because of the Just Strife video.
To the App Store, see what kind of options we have. We're going to say not now. Let's actually just search up Diablo Immortal and see what other options they have.
He did. It's the slip, baby. I do it all the time. Okay, so he types in Diablo Immortal. What we got here?
Let's see what comes to mind, what they say. All right, Diablo Immortal #1, Elder Scrolls Blades.
I don't like that game personally. I actually tried that game. I found it quite boring. Fair enough, I did try it right when it was released, and I heard it's got better.
Different. You can't even really compare. Hearthstone's another Blizzard game. All right, so Torchlight Infinite.
Here we go.
We've played this one on the channel. This is actually a really fun game, and it brings me back to when I played Torchlight back in the day on Xbox. This is probably one of the top 5 choices if I were to play something outside of Diablo Immortal.
I think that's probably pretty fair. I mean, Torchlight Infinite, Undecember, and Diablo Immortal, I feel like are kind of the triforce of the ARPG mobile experience at the moment. I think the thing with Torchlight that throws off a lot of people is the graphics, personally. I think a lot of people that play Diablo Immortal probably want to see the darker graphics.
This is one of the best action RPGs alongside of Diablo Immortal on mobile right now. But is it good enough? And as a content creator, you have to think about a few things. Is it good enough to keep me entertained and fulfilled as a gamer? And is it good enough for me on YouTube? Does it have a large enough community? As you can see, there have been 1.9 thousand ratings. If we go ahead,
that actually seems pretty low. I mean, for as much traction talking about Torchlight Infinite as I've seen, I'm actually surprised it's only got 1,900 ratings, to be honest.
Compare that to Diablo Immortal. Let's kind of see what they have here. Diablo Immortal has 151,000 ratings.
Yeah.
They came out approximately at the same time. Diablo Immortal on the role-playing chart is number 50, where Torchlight Infinite was not on that chart at all.
Yeah,
let's continue on through. But let's keep in mind that Torchlight Infinite could be a valid game to play as a gamer. As a content creator, though, I don't know that the audience is actually there.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. So basically, his point here is that if you're a content creator, you can't just consider like, oh, I like this game. Because if I just played games I liked, I would be playing games like Super Metroid and no one would be watching. So you do have to consider both what other people are playing as well. And then you balance that with what do I enjoy playing? You know, is the game have a future, etc. There's a bunch of things you have to think about as a YouTuber, because as YouTubers, we typically love games too, but a lot of times too, it's also work. Like we have to come up here and we talk about it and all that, and we do it daily. So we need to make sure that we're not just, preaching to 3 people. We have to choose something that typically, at least there's a decent audience for, or else you just have no eyeballs.
Evil Lands RPG. Played this back in the day, not a new game. The controls were wonky, didn't like it. Let's keep on scrolling through. All right. So we have another one here that would be one that I'd highly consider, and that would be Genshin Impact.
So I've played a lot of Genshin Impact, hyper popular game. On the main channel, I covered it as the main game for a little while. I've spent more in that game than I've spent in Diablo Immortal for sure. In fact, one character alone in that game cost me more than all of my Diablo Immortal account. Very expensive game if you want to max out stuff, but it's also a fun game, and it's fairly open world, kind of like Diablo Immortal. I don't really think they're the same genre, if I'm being fair.
Genshin Impact is an incredible, not action RPG,
yeah,
MMO RPG. This is one of those big, wide open world games. But check it out, number 4 in adventure. This game is up there on the list. Number 4, while Diablo Immortal is number 50.
To give you an idea, this is part of the reason what we were talking about earlier, where it's like you gotta make sure the game is big enough. This game was so large to the point that this took people's channels from small little channels from littler games to like millions and millions and millions of views. I mean, tens of thousands of viewers on Twitch type of thing. A very, very large game. So you do have to consider the game when you're picking it. That's why I tried Genshin Impact as well. I liked it, and I played it for a while, and I eventually got bored of it, so I just moved on. But it is a good game.
On the charts for action RPGs. I mean, looking at this right now, it's making me think maybe I should jump back into Genshin Impact. Like this game, it's not new, but it's where it's at. 405,000 ratings. It's an editor choice. Really solid game. Let's take a look at the preview right here, just so we can kind of see as I discuss it. Now, all content creators about a year ago when Genshin Impact came out, they were all like, this is where it's at. Some content creators blew the heck up on this game, went from like a small following to making full-time streaming like their gig. Like that was...
Yeah, so he's going into exactly what I was saying, and this is 100% true.
What they did because of Genshin Impact. The ability to make that massive move right now as a content creator is gone. Like that's not gonna happen anymore. But to build a stable community on YouTube around this game, I think it is still there. Genshin Impact is probably the most popular game that we're going to even be looking at today. As of right now, if I were to leave...
Genshin Impact might even be like the most popular mobile game at the moment, other than maybe like Call of Duty, Candy Crush, like these really obvious big IPs. But Genshin Impact, if we're talking like the gacha, the RPG, like, the degenerate genre, these are essentially, it's probably the largest game.
Portal and switch to something, it would probably be Genshin Impact, although the genre is a little bit different. MMORPG versus action RPG. Blade Fantasy, it's okay. It's another MMORPG, nothing really to write home about there. Let's keep on scrolling through. Iron Blade, this is an old one. It's fun. There are some like fast actions that you can do to do some really quick, easy, awesome looking kills. Like you could play this game really good and actually not be that good. So that's a nice thing about this game. But for content creation, no. for that long term, I'm going to grind this game for extended periods of time and this is going to be my jam, it's just not the game. But
pretty cool looking graphics, but it's basically what he's saying here is a lot of this is it seems like based upon the YouTube side of things, which makes sense because I'll explain a little bit of what he's talking about. It sounds to me like he is looking at other games and kind of wondering like, hey, should I try some of these other games? Which is a question that we as content creators ask ourselves like pretty much on the daily basis. This is something that content creators talk about all the time. We're always like, hey, what do you think about this game? What do you think about this game? Should we build a channel on this game? Should we try this one? Because, I mean, I don't know about him in particular, but I mean, I have 3 channels that I upload to typically daily on 3 different mobile games. I also have like a van life channel where I'm building my Sprinter van into a tiny home. I have the Alaskan channel. I have all these YouTube channels that I just don't talk about very often because I do many things, and I typically like to divide them up so that those communities can stay within each one. And if you don't have many channels for each individual thing, you very often find yourself like, where's my channel going to go to next? And you can't pick small, tiny games, no matter how much you like them, because if you're not making like comedy content, skit-based stuff, if you're not doing stuff where people are watching not for the game, like if you watch Diablo Immortal content, you're probably watching me for the Diablo Immortal content. You probably want to have news, updates, opinion-related stuff, some guides, stuff like that, right? That's what you're watching me for. But a lot of those search traffic comes from things like Google. So if it's a small game, there's not many people like Googling, guides for whatever this game is. I even forget the name of it off the top of my head. So for those reasons, it kind of sounds like he's trying to explain a little bit of how people, actually build communities.
There are a couple others that I do want to look at today as we get through this trailer. This one's got to be like, it's got to be like 5 years old. And it's got 37,000 ratings. Let's keep on scrolling through, see what this has to offer, what the search offers, and then I have a few more in my mind. Dungeon Hunter Champions, Perfect World Mobile. This was actually a really good game as well. This is a lot more like a Genshin Impact style game. Looks like there's no trailer to take a peek at here, but 10,000 ratings. It's not ranked at all.
It's interesting to me that even games like Perfect World Mobile, which I know Perfect World's actually a decently popular game, has community around it, but even games like this one has less ratings than Torchlight Infinite. I mean, Torchlight Infinite got a lot of publicity, and they paid for a lot of ads, and they reached out to a lot of YouTubers, and lots of people reacted to it. People like Asbin reacted to it, etc. It got a lot of traction, and it only has 1,900 views, which for me is like, I know it's newish on the mobile game scene, but it is surprising.
All in the role-playing genre. It is a really nice looking game. It has a lot of depth to it as well. Again, this one's been out, and this is one that I checked out when I was looking into Diablo Immortal 3 years ago. This was one of my favorite choices actually back then. It's not one I dive into now just because of how long it's been around and all that. Raziel is another great one. This is one that we looked at before we got into Diablo Immortal and we were waiting.
I've actually heard about this one. I forgot who it was, but a few different people told me about this game and said it was actually a pretty good game.
For the game. And this was one of the ones that reminded me most of Diablo Immortal. It had really short rounds, short levels, small dungeons, and it was
that does look a lot like Diablo Immortal, for being fair.
Definitely more of a mobile gaming experience than we expect or when we compare it to Diablo Immortal. That's not the issue, though, that I have right now, because this game was actually really good. It was really good, a lot of fun. Pay to win, yeah, a little bit, but nothing compared to what we're seeing here in Diablo Immortal. But the community right now is basically dead. It's not supported anymore by the developers, so it's not a game you'd want to get into. Play for fun, sure, but it's not one that you're going to want to, like, dive into. Let's see what else we have. It looks like we're getting towards the Titan Quest, one that I've never played, but that is a huge favorite amongst
$8. You have to pay $8 for the game.
People in the community. The thing is, it's one of these retro style games. Another one like this.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, bro. I'm not feeling this one.
I'll speak about it in conjunction here is Anima, right? This one's an $8 game. You have to pay to get it, and as you saw, it had 800 or something like that ratings. This is not something that would get much attention on YouTube. As a creator, as a gamer, if you just want to play something fun, sure, but it's got a very limited community.
Yeah, this is a couch game. This is something you play when you're like stoned off your ass watching TV. This is not something that you build a channel around, and it's definitely not something you try to build a community around.
On the other hand, larger community. It's a free to download game, and it's very similar to this in how it has that retro Diablo 2 style, which would be something that you could consider as well if you're looking for something like that. Not for me, though. Not for me. I have two more in mind, and it looks like neither of the ones that I'm thinking of are popping up right here.
Look how many of these are. Are you seeing how many of these games there are, though? Like, there's a million of these cheap ARPG type of games.
All right, so let's go in here. We're going to change the search from Diablo Immortal
All right, where are we going,
to Undecember, which is probably the largest competitor right now of Diablo Immortal. And check it out, Torchlight Infinite getting shown.
Undecember has 492 ratings. I mean, maybe this is way too early and they just don't have enough ratings yet. But man, that is surprising to me, man. Like Torchlight Infinite and Undecember barely have any downloads and ratings. That is, I mean, Undecember is actually a good game too. Like it is not a bad game by any means. So I'm surprised.
Shown right there. Man, here's the issue. Look at the ratings. Only 492 ratings. Not ranked in RPG. 3.7 stars because this game does have pay-to-win elements as well. I still never got to the depth of it.
So the pay-to-win is in the game, but it has been fixed a little bit. There was a lot of complaints about the inventory system. Even myself complained about the inventory system, and they actually upgraded the inventory for free to play.
But that I did with Diablo Immortal to understand how that works. But out of all the games that you can directly relate to Diablo Immortal, this one is the best.
So that's probably his best point in the whole video, I think, which is I completely agree with him here on this, that Undecember is actually probably the best of the ones that we're going to be talking about today.
The gamer, if you want to play something like Diablo Immortal, but not Diablo Immortal, it's got to be Undecember. The game
100% right there. That is, if you're going to play something that's not Diablo Immortal, he is correct. That is the game to play, in my own personal opinion.
It is really, really good. It has a PC client and it has a client here on mobile. So does Genshin Impact, by the way. But this one, for a creator like myself, I would need a ton of support from the developer to build a community around it for me to say, I'm going to leave Diablo Immortal where I have developer support, where I am in touch with the developers, to switch over to a game that's so much smaller. I mean, not even 1,000 ratings on this game yet.
He makes some, actually, I think I'm just going to do a friendly disagreement here with this one, which is that developer support, I think, kind of doesn't matter at all. Like I've been in partner programs pretty significantly in multiple games, and I don't know if even to this date I've ever been in a partner program that I felt like influenced my channel in a way that mattered. In terms of the YouTube channel sides of things. And I do actually think, because I put a few videos out on Undecember, one of them has like 80,000 views, and the other one's got like 30K or something. I have actually seen pretty good search patterns for Undecember, especially related around to builds, etc. I think Undecember is a little bit of a submarine where it's hard to detect, but I think it's actually got a bigger player base audience and people who would watch it than you might think.
Which is crazy to me. They need a representative in North America like myself to promote this game and to pump it out and to get people to know about it. But we'll see. I don't know.
Well, that part I completely agree with. They do need someone in North America that is a representative if they do not have it. Every game should have this, especially when it comes to things like advertising and understanding the Western mentality. I think this is where Diablo Immortal failed immensely, is they were so heavily influenced on the East side of the market. I feel like they're not really focusing on the West side of the market. I mean, it is a NetEase game after all, and I feel like they missed the mark on the West side of the market, just in my own personal opinion. So I actually completely agree with him here on this point.
The game has what it takes. It's not getting that push. Every time you go to Instagram, I mean, tell me when you go to Instagram or Facebook or where else, maybe even on Twitter, you see ads for Diablo Immortal. You see them.
Okay, I see where he's going. I took it as like he's saying he needs dev support, like he wants to be able to talk to a dev. For me, I just don't care about that. I mean, I've had it, but it's every time I get excited by it, it's literally never mattered for me. But I think what he's actually saying is he needs the devs to be focused on promoting their own game so that they build the community in the region he's in. So I think that's what he's saying. And that point is a very astute, correct point. From a YouTuber point of view, though, you have to understand.
Pushing Diablo Immortal. This is advertisements for content creators, for YouTubers. This is how people say, oh, what is that? I'm gonna go look for it. And then you go and you find YouTube channels like that. Undecember, you don't see that. They're not putting money into marketing in that sense. Yes, they did sponsor a few videos on my channel, which was awesome. A few live streams, which was great, but they're not.
Undecember sponsored them and I didn't get sponsored? Are you kidding me? I had Torchlight Infinite put spam bots in my comments and then ask me to be part of their partner program, which I said no to and giggled at because it's like, you can't do that. And then he gets sponsored by Undecember. Echo, my man. I am jealous. You got to teach me how to get these sponsorships for games. I made free videos on this game. Maybe that's, you know what? It was my fault. That's where I messed up. I made videos for free. I should have held out. I should have waited. Could have got my meat into the YouTuber pie.
Going into the social media market, which is making it a little bit more difficult for them to get out there. Look, again, Diablo Immortal. What else do we have here? Dungeon Hunter 5. This is one of the classic ones. This is probably one of the oldest, most OG.
I actually kind of like this game, to be honest. Like I think you have to pay $6 for it or something. It's a very classic hack and slash. It feels like a game you would have downloaded out of the Xbox 360 arcade. I'm glad he's mentioning this one. This is a fun game.
Action RPGs right now. I mean, this is the one that everyone had played.
Yeah.
If you're into action RPGs, there's still a big community for this. But again, this game is another one that's been around for a long time.
It's an old one.
I'm talking 5+ years. And I'm not sure, to be fair, how well or how much it's been supported over that time. There's one more game, and why am I drawing a blank on it right now? You know, I got to go to my Diablo Immortal channel, and I had covered this game back in the day while I was waiting for Diablo Immortal. I can't remember. It was an MMORPG. Come on, help me out. In the comment section below, what MMORPG did I cover when Diablo Immortal was still getting ready to come out and all that? And I did a few live streams and things like that on the channel.
What is this going to be? A Diablo?
Found it.
Wait,
this is another one that I would still consider moving to, but it's more along the lines of Genshin Impact.
What is it?
That is going to be
Tower Fantasy? Oh, Black Desert Online.
Desert.
Okay.
Mobile. This game is pretty
I've played
big,
this
guys.
game.
It's another MMORPG, but again,
pay the win,
doesn't
bro.
have the,
so pay the win.
The push that we had with Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact.
It had a decent. It definitely had some ads. I definitely saw some ads. I definitely played it. I played this on launch. This game is pay the win. This is absolutely pay the win, and I didn't find this one particularly interesting. I played this for like a month or two. I think I spent like $600 or something in this game, just like going ham. Like, yeah, I'm going to go super ham. I wasn't even making content on it. I just wanted to play the game because I actually played Black Desert Online, like the PC game. So I was like, mobile's out. Let's do this, baby. I'm going to go ham. And then I just regretted it and was like, this game's not that good. And, you know, it was just kind of how I felt about it. I find like these full-blown graphical MMORPG experiences are always just a little bit shy. You guys seen this cat running around? Are you seeing this cat? I don't know. She's on one right now, guy. But I find these faux experiences are just a little short still on mobile. Like, they're not quite there. I mean, we're probably like within 5 years, we're going to be getting some full-blown mobile. Kitty, can you... You're distracting me. And within 5 years, we'll get some full-blown mobile MMORPG type of stuff. I mean, right now, we still can play games like old school RuneScape, games that are PC first, that have made their way onto the mobile platform, that can do that type of thing. But, you know, for instance, like Black Desert Mobile, I thought was going to be like the first real MMO. I was just really hyped for this one for some reason, but it let me down. You know, it felt like it let me down.
Impact had 450,000 ratings. Black Desert Mobile, only 31,000. Now, that is not a reason to or not to play a game. But for someone like myself as a content creator, it gives me an idea of the audience that's there to watch content. Now, this game has been out. When did I play it? I played this on my channel, wow, 2 years ago. And that's like a general time. So it could be even closer to the 3-year mark, but it's showing 2 years ago.
It was a while.
This game's not new. Now, it is supported. It is one of the better MMORPGs on mobile. But if I had to choose...
So you're probably wondering why he's mentioning like how new a game is and be like, why does it matter if the game's new or not? Like some of the older games or some of the best games ever made. Well, because in this video in particular, it sounds like he is taking it from the YouTuber side of things, which if you take an older game, it means people aren't looking up information as much. So if you're a YouTuber and you want to make a video that teaches people something like how to get the best item in the game, how the beginner's guide, etc., those type of things get searched for more in the beginning of a game. So when a game just comes out, you want to go out and make a bunch of guides on the new game that comes out because everyone's new to the game and everyone is looking for information. They're Googling it, they're pulling it up on YouTube, etc. And that translates to people watching your channel more, which is what we as YouTubers are striving for. We're trying to get people to watch our channel while playing video games and having fun with it. So he's coming from that point of view with it, which is explaining why he's saying he doesn't want to play another game, which makes sense. And Kenny! For God's sake, one moment. Kitty has been dealt with. Let's deal with it this rest of this video.
If I was about to choose and say I'm going from an action RPG into an MMORPG, it would probably have to be Genshin Impact before Black Desert Mobile. Now, is there anything coming out in the MMORPG realm that can compete with these games? Not that I know of. Action RPGs, like, we got them, guys. We got everything that was big and coming out. We could all say, like, Path of Exile Mobile, but was that just like a meme, or is that actually going to happen? I'm scrolling through here just to see if there's anything else that pops up. There's really nothing.
So people have asked me this about Path of Exile. I have played Path of Exile. I used to buy the cosmetics. I thought the cosmetics were really cool in that game, even though they were like super gory, and that's typically not my thing. But I actually like Path of Exile. I am waiting for it to come to mobile. If it does come to mobile, I will absolutely cover that on this channel. I don't have any problems with Path of Exile. There's this weird thing where it's like, if you play Diablo Immortal, people think you just like, oh, the only thing he plays is Diablo. And it's like, guys, I didn't even play D2. Like, I'm a mobile gamer. Like, I play these mobile games, and what I did play was, like, other PC MMORPGs. Like, that's typically what I play. I'm a PC MMORPG player, and I started playing mobile games when I got into the YouTube side of things, right? I absolutely will cover Path of Exile mobile. It is directly in my line of sight in terms of the content I'm covering at the moment. It's a mobile game. It's an ARPG. It's similar to Diablo Immortal, which means you guys watching probably will have some interest in it as well. What I'm not going to do is upload Hello Barbie Adventure Island onto this channel just because I like the game. Some people don't seem to understand this concept. I like Marvel Snap. I'm playing Marvel Snap more than anything else right now. You know what I'm not going to do is piss all you guys off by spamming Marvel Snap videos all over my channel because everyone's like, just follow what you love to do. That's not how it works. You guys came here for a reason. You hit the subscribe button because you are here to watch a certain type of content, and I will respect your choice of subscribing to the channel for what it states it's going to be uploading. What I will do, and what I have already done, is build another channel for the games that I enjoy playing. Marvel Snap, I have another channel for. I'm uploading videos on it daily because I like the game there. And if that channel grows because people choose to watch that, then so be it. That's just the way it goes. You got to respect the viewer's choice and what they want to watch. You can't really just jump in and do something random. So I understand where he's coming. He's making a lot of points. It's like, as a YouTuber, I can absolutely understand where he's coming from.
That there's really nothing. There's not much. So this is why Diablo Immortal is probably still... Diablo Immortal is definitely the best option for me right now as a creator to put regular content out for in the action RPG genre. If I were to branch out into MMORPGs, Genshin Impact would probably be the best option for me there. And if I were to branch out to PC, obviously diving into Diablo 4, being that that's the newest and most upcoming game.
Yeah.
In action RPGs, that would probably be...
Okay, let's talk about that too. When D4 comes out, I will be covering D4. We'll be on this channel. Again, it's not a mobile game, but it is Diablo, so it's in the same genre, and if you guys are Diablo fans, you're going to be playing that. D4 is going to be good. It looks like it's going to be quite good. I myself will enjoy the game. I will be covering the game as well. So if you're interested in seeing D4 content, stick with the channel because that is coming. And I'm sure, I guarantee you, all of the other content creators in Diablo Immortal, when D4 comes out, we all will be trying the game. Because I think we're all like at the point where we've made like hundreds of videos on Immortal, and there's not like a whole a whole bunch of stuff that we're like super interested in covering, we can make guides. But the reality is there's only like 3, 4, 5 builds if you're being generous with each one of these heroes, right? And you can cover each one of those builds. But after that, it's like the guides start to get limited, and really it becomes news and updates and opinion type of content, reaction content. I mean, look at this video today. I'm reacting to somebody else's video for content. So for that reason, you're absolutely going to see people, you know, harness the well of content, which is going to be Diablo 4. And I'm absolutely going to be one of those people. Let's continue.
The best option. But I'm going to still play Diablo Immortal because that's the game that I've grinded into, that I've played so much of, and that I really do enjoy playing the most right now. Whether I put a video out every day for it or not, I like playing Diablo Immortal more than I like playing a lot of these other games. With that being said, I think I'm going to download Genshin Impact today and start messing around with it because the game, it's pretty fun. Let's be honest. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. What games would you recommend? I'll see you back here tomorrow in another video.
Okay, so that was Echo Gaming. That is You Should Quit Diablo Immortal by Echo Gaming. I will have a link in the description. Go watch him. Give him a like. I'm already subscribed. Subscribe to him. Say what up. And here's my, I'm going to give you one last opinion on kind of all of this, which is that Diablo Immortal, while it may not be the best game on the planet, and it definitely has issues. I mean, I've put so many negative videos out, people are telling me they're sick of seeing them, that at this point, what we're all doing is we're playing it because there's not really a whole lot of anything better that's driving our attention at the moment. The reality is in the mobile gaming space, and I hate to end the video on kind of a negative connotation, but the reality is in the mobile gaming space at the moment, I feel like the average player is sort of getting abused. There's not very many good mobile games, and most of them seem like cash grabs. So you have to just stay with a game until you see the next game that's actually interesting, that seems decent enough, and then you go try out that game. At the moment, I will be playing Diablo Immortal just like Echo Gaming until something else grabs my attention and brings me away from it. That's pretty much what approximation of what he said I can see from here is that he's just playing this game until there's something better. I kind of feel the same way. What is that something better? I think realistically it's probably going to be Diablo 4, Path of Exile, games like that. Once D4 has an open beta where we can start creating content on it, that's going to be my next thing I'm going hard on. I think that's the next big release. So the Echo Gaming today, yeah, he makes some pretty good points. I can understand where he's coming from. Thanks everyone for watching. Love you all. Again, his video will be in the description. Go give him some love, and I'll see you on the next one.